So the last topic for today, it's almost the end of Friday, will be about mind hacking. I know it's a hard and difficult topic to do, but I've been working on it all day, writing content and script um, so that I can make a video out of it and then upload it into Facebook. Um, I'm just going to talk a little bit about mind hacking. It is probably the positive things about mind hacking and leave the negative things for later. So, mind hacking isn't just about thinking, it's about meta thinking, thinking about our thinking, a term known as metacognition. So, by doing so, we can hack back into our minds and rewrite the code based on what we want to achieve in school, at work, in relationships, and life. So, I just finished a book written by Charles Duhigg on the power of habit. So, I'm going to be talking about 5 simple points that we can use this technique of mind hacking in a positive way just to improve ourselves. The first thing is upgrade yourself as a user to a super user, from a user to a super user. So, in a study, subjects were trained to 1A, focus on a specific target, and then B, notice when their minds had wandered off and then return their attention back to the target. So, with practice, they were able to sustain attention and ignore distraction for progressively longer periods of time, actually rewiring their neural circuitry to be more efficient and productive. So mind hackers actually log out of what's called as the user mode from their autopilot essentially and log back in as a super user mode so they can rewire the brains to be more efficient and productive, like I said. So the second one is think of attention like money. So when you focus your attention on attention itself, it's like putting your money in a bank account with compounding interest. So if it takes money to make money, it also takes attention to make attention. So fragmentation of attention, it is something called as multitasking in layman's terms. It makes us weaker. As a neurophysiologist from Stanford says, people who multitask all the time can't filter out irrelevancy. They can't manage a working memory. They are chronically distracted. They're even terrible at multitasking. When we ask them to multitask, they're even worse at it. So they're pretty much mental wrecks. The next habit that I want to talk about is bookend habits with cues and rewards. So, in the book Power of Habit, Charles Duhigg suggests that choose a consistent time, like it may be in the morning or evening or late in the evening or night. So it's better to choose a consistent time and then choose a consistent place, somewhere that you won't get disturbed or distracted. Then choosing a consistent reminder, maybe a digital reminder or a post-it note, whatever works for you. And then choose a consistent reward, shower, breakfast, music, whatever works for you. Then he is asking us to use the 5 WHYs to eliminate negative thought loops. The 5 Whys is a technique commonly used in a business problem solving that was developed by Sakichi Toyoda, who's the founder of Toyota Motor Corporation. He recommends using this technique, asking why 5 or so times to identify the root of a problem, to debug negative thought loops also. So he gives example of a guy named Charlie, who's a 25-year-old programmer and who got fired from this company. So he asked Charlie a question, why can't you hold a job, Charlie? And Charlie gave 5 responses where I cannot get along with my boss, or sometimes I'm insubordinate. Why? Now that I think about it, it's more like I don't want to be forced to do something I don't believe in. Why? Because I had to do that a lot growing up. I hate that my father was so dominating. And his fifth why response was because it makes me feel like I can be trusted to make my own business. You see, the root of Charlie's problem is his fifth response to the why. Track your mind, hacking progress in a measurable scientific way. So let's go talk about Benjamin Franklin. He started a moral perfection project, a set of 13 virtues he wished to develop in himself. To ensure these virtues became habits, Franklin used a diary to make a simple grid with columns representing each day of the week and rows measuring each of the 13 virtues. Each day, Franklin reviewed his progress across the 13 virtues, marking with a black spot any day in which he didn't live up to his ideal self. Each week, Franklin also had a target virtue that he would strive to habituate for the entire week. So, if you are struggling to get started with a positive thought loop, writing down the following fill in the blanks 15 times each day. I'm going to read all the 5 points with the fill in the blanks, and you can fill them later. So, the first one is I will feel blank. I will do blank. I will have blank. I will give blank. And finally, I will be or become blank. So until it's on paper, it's vapor. The obvious yet often underutilized practice of writing down our ideas, thoughts, and resolutions is a huge game changer. Writing is a gateway behind the world of mind and the world of matter. It's how thoughts become things, how an idea gets from our heads into our hands. In 2008, a study funded by the National Institute of Health recruited nearly 1,700 people to help them lose weight by keeping a simple food diary, a written or a digital list of everything they ate. The results were astounding. The more food records people kept, the more weight they lost, period. Knowing their food choices would be recorded rather than eaten and forgotten was a powerful motivator to make better choices. Furthermore, participants began noticing patterns in their diets, which could only be understood and appreciated after they wrote it down. Operate like an addict. Addiction is widely considered to be a lifelong disease. Hence, why treatment professionals promote neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections instead of a lifelong cure. When addicts rewire their brain connections to make better decisions, they can more effectively achieve and maintain sobriety. To achieve neuroplasticity, professionals recommend writing down your next day's schedule. It's something called as vertical planning, including both work and rest, from as soon as you awake until bedtime. The purpose is to turn a negative loop into a virtuous cycle, like making progress, feeling good, and making more progress, etc. Optimistic people's field of perception is literally greater. When you write down your positive thought loops daily, you're more likely to notice the people and situations that can help you achieve your positive thought loops as they present themselves. You'll also set your expectations accordingly, and you'll begin viewing situations in a totally different light. For example, if you're repeatedly writing out the positive thought loop of getting skinnier and someone invites you to an exercise class, you'll set it as an opportunity, not just another activity on your to-do list. Also, when you commit to investing time and energy in the small task of writing out your positive thought loops each day, you're more likely to commit yourself to investing time and energy into the larger tasks that will bring your thought loops to life. A constant reminder of anything will help you achieve, well, anything. Want to break a bad habit or start a new one? Create a reminder. Want to achieve something? create a reminder. Want to be better at something, create a reminder. The more reminders you create, the more they'll stick in your mind, and the more likely you are to follow through with whatever the reminder represents. After all, the word remind literally means bringing it back. The word remind literally means bringing it back to mind. You are responsible for creating reminders for yourself, but putting them in the following places for optimal success: hanging on your computer monitor, nightstand, or dresser, making a computer background screensaver or smartphone background in your breakfast area, in your daily alarm, in your bathroom, across from the toilet is ideal. So small pushes, when timed correctly, can give big effects. A term borrowed from physics, resonance is the practice of using minimal effect to create maximum force. When you shift your focus from getting things done to getting the right things, you'll move closer to the equilibrium. These right things are known as keystone habits or single habits that lead to several good habits, resulting in a chain effect that produces a plethora of positive outcomes. So if your keystone habit is to meditate for 10 minutes per day, for example, you'll become less stressed. By becoming less stressed, you'll strengthen your immune system. By strengthening your immune system, you will get sick less often. By getting sick less often, you'll be more productive. By being more productive, you'll feel more accomplished. By feeling more accomplished, you'll be even more productive, and the chain continues, so on and so forth. And that's all I have for you today. Have a great weekend, and I will see you in my next video.